first time being influenced by dance is when I was 18 years old in Southside Chicago. I met this guy named Michael Jones. So that's good. And he was a dance teacher at the YMCA. He took me under his wing, told me I could be a choreographer and a dancer if I wanted, if I put some time into it. And I took it kind of serious, and then so I kept going to classes. And he was like, I have to go on a cruise ship. I need you to run my classes. So I was just kind of put in a sink or swim situation where I had to like teach adults and kids in all of his classes while he was gone. So I learned how to teach first before I was like a performer. So that really influenced me. Teaching really influenced me to dance. I started training when I was about 17, 16 years old. I was always dancing though. I was dancing in clubs. I was like born in a club. So like I could dance since I was little. But I always thought, you know, from where I'm from, everybody was like, oh, that's gay. You can't do that, you know, or I would be judged at the basketball court by my homies. And so I didn't take it serious because everybody around me wasn't. And then I had made a choice when I met Michael Jones, and I was like, this is what I want to do. You know, I kind of felt it in my spirit, and I kept going to class. I got better at it. And I actually ended up getting into Deeply Rooted and going on Soul Train in LA. And so that really motivated me to start, you know, like, okay, let me do this for real, you know, take it serious.
You mentioned basketball. Was that something that you were pursuing?
Yeah. I think everybody in Chicago that's Black wants to pursue that career, unfortunately. Now, I wanted to be a basketball player for sure. I love Michael Jordan. I'm from Chicago. I went to Malcolm X College. I played for Mickey Johnson. He played for the Bulls. I played since I was 10 years old, so. And yeah, I actually was a shooting coach for the YBA summer camp, Youth Basketball Association at the Southside YMCA. So I taught kids how to shoot because I was a great shooter. So, and I still am.
Getting back to your basketball again, were you heading in that direction, like coaching or professional?
I played college basketball. I was getting looked at by scouts for sure, and I was going to go overseas and play because I was at a unranked college. It was a junior college in Chicago, so I wasn't like at a D1 school. So most of those players, if you're going to play professional, you'd probably go overseas first instead of the NBA.
Getting back to dance, what styles of dance are you proficient in? Did you study ballet? Did you study jazz? What were your...
I'm proficient in street dance. It's funny because I started so late that Michael Jones, he embodied musical theater. So I'm more of like really good at expressing myself. And so I danced through, it's like musical theater style. That's like the style I was trained in first. And then I got into Deeply Rooted with Dariq and Aiga and Elena. And that's a sister company to Ailey. And so they trained me up, taught me how to point my toes and go across the floor. And I had to take ballet. And then I got into another company with Andrea Kelly, and she took me to a whole nother level. So that was kind of my training, professional training.
What motivates you in your dancing?
Being able to convey the story to the audience. I think that when I was in the Young Americans, I got taught where do you look and what's the story, you know? And so that's really important to me. So when I'm dancing, I want you to look at me and see something either that's related to the music or what I'm trying to convey across to the audience.
What choreographers have you worked with?
I've worked with Andrea Kelly, Dariq from Deeply Rooted. I've worked with choreographers from the Young Americans, which is a lot. And I've also worked with Michael Jones. He's a really good choreographer. Casper K. I worked with him and many others.
What stars have you worked with or hope to work with?
I hope to be, the stars that I hope to work with are like on Broadway, like Lin-Manuel Miranda. I need to say that again.
Manuel, yeah.
Lin-Manuel Miranda. Yeah, I hope to work with him. That'd be dope. To be in one of his shows would be amazing. I just love his music. I think he's great.
Have you worked with any stars right now? Like.
Oh yeah. So
Salt-
yeah, I just booked a gig called I Love the '90s in Vegas. So Salt and Pepper is doing a permanent residency here. Salt and Pepper is doing a permanent residency here, and I booked the show, and that was a dope audition, and it's really kind of iconic to dance with somebody who is iconic as they are, because you know they were the first females to do it real big back in the '90s. So it's cool.
If I were to ask your friends or coworkers about you, what would they say?
That I'm ridiculous. I am ridiculous, and I know it, and I love it, and I love every bit of it. But no, I think that I am one of the most energetic people that I know that's around me all the time. My nickname is Marathon, and I got that because I was in Boys of Poison, and before that, my name was Energy, and before that, it was Digo. So I think my name has progressed because of my energy, and so they would say I have great energy, and
you seem very passionate in what you do and what you seem like you love your work.
I love it. I love it.
Who is someone you idolized growing up?
This is kind of a weird question for me. Everybody's answer is like Michael Jackson or what. Mine is like Genuine. There was this one performance I did in high school, and I did a solo, and I danced a pony, and I had planted some girls in the audience. That was my friends, and they had underwear in their hands, and I told them to throw it up on stage, and I danced. I did that performance, but yeah, I got this whole pretty boy thing when I was in high school, and so Genuine and Nelly were kind of like my two people that I kind of wanted to be like for some reason in high school.
Besides in the entertainment field,
Okay.
is there someone else, family member or a basketball coach or someone like that you probably idolized as well?
Yes, I idolized Gordon Cox. Gordon Cox was the director of the YMCA on the South Side of Chicago. He kept me out of trouble in Chicago, where there's a lot of violence, a lot of gangs, and a lot of things you can get caught up in that can make your life miserable. And he made my life way better. He encouraged me to teach, to play basketball, to do everything I could, be a personal trainer. I worked at the smoothie bar. I was a lifeguard, and it was because of that man. Gordon Cox is amazing. He has his own hallway. It says Gordon Cox Way because he influenced the YMCA so much while he was there. So
does that motivate you to either go back to Chicago or wherever you end up living to help youth in that neighborhood? And
yeah, I actually did. For the first 7 years of my career, after I got trained and I went on tour, I came back for like 5 years in Chicago, and me and Michael Jones created a school called Professional Theater and Dance Youth Academy. And it was in the inner city schools. And it was, the school was a charter school from the University of Chicago, Woodlawn Charter School. And we started a program there that was just an after school program. And it grew into now we have our own building. And it's amazing, it's like 10 years later. And I was the assistant director with him for 6 years. And I kind of got burnt out and I wanted to perform more. So then I moved to like Florida and started touring and those kind of things, so.
We talked about this earlier, and you mentioned Genuine and Nelly and people like that. Are there other specific choreographers that you idolize?
Yes, because I love musical theater. I really idolize Wade Robinson. I think he's a very expressive choreographer, but it's the way he moves and the intention behind his movements that motivated me to dance. And he made him one of my a standout choreographer to me.
When you moved to Vegas, what was it like?
When I moved to Vegas, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, actually, because I was coming from Florida. I was working at Busch Gardens as a sword dancer, which was amazing, but also awful because my roommate situation was awful, and the people I worked with, it was like, Busch Gardens was like corporate and art, and it didn't flow to me. it wasn't the ebb and flow of what I wanted. And so I left. And my friends, John and Adrian, convinced me to come to Vegas and move in with them. But before I moved in with them, there were some people already living here. And so I came in here, I had a job dancing in Island Heat, which was a Polynesian dance show. And so I did Polynesian dancing, that was awesome. And the show closed the week I got here. And after the show closed, it was gonna be like $500 a week or whatever it was. Now I have nothing. So I had to start all over. And now I'm in a new state, nobody knows me. And so I had to audition, so I had to work my way from the bottom up. I think at one time I was a go-go dancer at Piranha, which is like a gay club out here. And it is what it is, you know. You have to do what you have to do to make it happen so you can keep moving forward. So I did that. I even stripped sometimes. And I also, but then after that, things got a little bit better. I was able to move in with John and Adrian. My first audition that I went to, which was MJ Live, which is the Michael Jackson show out here in Vegas at the Stratosphere. I booked it the first time. And then I went to another audition called Divas. Now, previously, when I was auditioning, I went to Divas audition first. Got cut immediately. I was a little like, I don't really get cut immediately, but okay, I had to accept it and take a look back and see, like, why did I get cut, what it was. And I think it was because in Vegas, it's all about a look. It's about having a specific thing that looks great on stage that catches your eye. Again, where do you look and what's the story? So I just looked kind of like every other guy that was out here that was of my nationality. So I decided to dye my hair blonde. I went to a Paul Mitchell show and they was like, who wants to try something new? And I was like, this guy. And so they took me and dyed my hair like platinum blonde. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Everybody kept calling me Cisco. That was a long running joke. So original. And but then I went back again to the Divas audition and I booked it. The next day they called me and they was like, yeah, we want you to be full time. And I was like, whoa, at the same audition. It's because I changed my look and I took a risk. So now I'm working at MJ and Divas simultaneously. So I'm doing 2 shows a day and I'm working 7 days a week pretty much for the first year that I was in Vegas. So I was putting in a lot of work, but I started low and then I had to work my way from the bottom up. So I started from the bottom, now I'm here. Started from the bottom.
You were saying that you were influenced by Michael Jones. Who is
Michael Jones? Michael Jones, not the rapper, is a amazing, energetic, enthusiastic, visionary man. He took me under his wing at the YMCA, and he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And he believed in me so much that he helped me to progress my dancing and my dance knowledge. I didn't even know what a pirouette or a tendu, I didn't know anything. I was from the street. So, you know, he took time to work with me and I was late in the game, but he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. He saw what a great teacher I was, what a great personality I was, what a great choreographer I could be, and what a great dancer I am. And he nurtured that to the best of his ability, and I thank him every day. You know, he's like my dance dad. I call him my dance dad, or he's really my father. Like, I call him my father.
How do you describe your dance style?
My dance style is like if musical theater and street dancing had a baby, and then that baby met somebody like Baryshnikov. I'm gonna say that again. Like if musical theater and street dancing and hip hop had a baby, that would be what my dance style would be. Because I love musical theater, I'm very expressive, but I love technical styles of hip hop, like popping, locking, breaking, and waving, and crump dance, whacking, all that. And so I infuse those things together to create my style. But it's always energetic and very clean because I like to be clean. I'm a clean dancer. I'm a simple, sexy man, so I like things to be sexy, clean, and simple. Yeah.
If you could invite anyone to dinner, dead or alive, who would it be?
If I could invite anyone dead or alive to dinner, who would it be? It'd probably be my mom. My mom my mom died 3 years ago. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to her. I think I was on tour working, and I had somebody who I hired to watch after her. He went to go check on her, and she was dead. And I got a call, and that was the most devastating thing that could have happened to me at that time, because not only did I lose my mom, but I lost a girlfriend that I was going to marry, and I had to move to Florida. And so I would just wish that I could have got a chance I wish I had a chance to talk to her one more time at dinner and have dinner and tell her I love her and tell her how much she means to me and tell her that I'm doing this because you inspired me through your being a strong Black woman in this world. So, yeah.
What are 6 words you live by?
The 6 words that I live by. That's an interesting question, because I plan on actually writing a book about the 6 words I live by, because it has helped me through my career. The first word is communication. You have to have strong communication with anyone if you want to have any kind of relationship. You have to start there. And through that strong communication, you can have great connection, right? And through with great connection comes having integrity with that connection. If you don't have integrity with that connection, it doesn't matter how much you communicate, right? It's not going to work out. And with integrity comes creativity, right? You create the ways you want to connect and communicate and have integrity with someone. And then with creativity, you can create freedom out of that creativity. It frees you up to do things in your life you would never have done. And then with every situation, you want to have gratitude. So be thankful for anything that's happened in your life. So those are the 6 words I love to live by: communication, connection, integrity, creativity, freedom, and gratitude.
Those 6 words, would they be your mission statement, or do you have a mission statement?
My mission statement in life is to create moments and memories that last a lifetime. And so what I mean by that is every day I get on stage and I perform, either in a show in Vegas or a corporate event or just a normal gig or teaching kids at a workshop, I'm changing lives. My life was changed in such a way. And I just want to reciprocate that back because I was so influenced by it. And so I love to create moments and memories that last a lifetime, because at the end of your life, it's not the things that you've done for yourself that's gonna live on. It's the things that you do for others that will remain immortal in life. So,
if you could go back in time, what would you tell your 18-year-old self?
So much. So much. If I can go back in time, what would I tell my 18-year-old self? Take more ballet for my dance career, seriously. I wish I was more flexible. I wish I had a lot of more foundational things, but because I started so late, and I just was so afraid to go do it because of everybody around me. But yeah, I wish I would have took more ballet classes for sure.
And besides the dance or the technical aspect of it, what would you tell your 18-year-old self about personality or fears or
I would tell my 18-year-old self to not let anyone dictate what you're gonna do. I did a lot of things because people were like, oh, you should do this and you'd be great at that. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I never took time to really encompass myself in it and throw myself fully into it and be like, this is mine, and own it. So I wish I would have owned things more when I was 18. Own your individuality, own your talent, and don't be afraid to talk about it and tell people what it is. To this day, I still have little issues of promoting myself because I don't want to be subconscious or people thought that I'm vain or whatever. So I really wish I didn't care what people thought of me, and I wish I would have owned my talent and what I had and promoted it more. I'll probably be further along in my career.